Hello, and welcome back to the television show. Today we're looking at Beasts, a 1976 horror anthology written by one of television's most imaginative minds, Nigel Kneale. Kneale, of course, was the creator of Quatermass, the man who practically invented British science fiction on screen. But Beasts is different. Here, Kneale takes a step away from outer space and turns his attention to something much closer to home, the animal within. Broadcast on ITV in the autumn of 1976, Beasts ran for just 6 episodes. Each one was self-contained, no recurring characters, no ongoing plot, but all were tied together by one simple theme: the idea of human beings haunted, possessed, or undone by something bestial. There are no actual monsters here, no aliens, no supernatural entities, at least not in the way we usually expect. The monsters are psychological, they're inside us. Kneale described the series as a study in the beast in man. It's about how fear, envy, guilt and obsession can push ordinary people towards something primal, something feral. This was classic Kneale territory, taking big, unsettling ideas and anchoring them in the everyday world. The writing is sharp, the atmosphere claustrophobic, and the results deeply unnerving. Take During Barty's Party, perhaps the most famous of the 6. It's just a husband and wife trapped in a house, listening to rats in the walls. That's it. You never see the creatures, you only hear them, and yet, by the end, you're completely on edge. Or Baby, a story about a vet's wife who discovers something horrifying preserved in a jar in her new home. It's pure folk horror. Domestic anxiety meets ancient superstition, and it builds to one of the bleakest endings ever broadcast on ITV. Then there's The Dummy, about an actor who spent years playing a rubber-suited monster in cheap horror films and begins to lose track of where the performance ends and reality begins. It's Kneale's sly commentary on the TV industry itself, and maybe on his own frustrations with it. Each episode has its own distinct flavour, some rural, some urban, all unsettling, and because the series was made on a modest budget by ITV, there's an intimacy to it. Shot mostly on small sets with just a handful of characters, you're never distracted by special effects. You're trapped in a room with the story. Kneale had a gift for making television feel haunted. His scripts rely on suggestion rather than spectacle. What you don't see is far worse than what you do. Directors like Don Lever and James Ormerod use long takes, dim lighting and natural sound to create tension. The pacing is deliberate, almost measured, letting the audience fill in the gaps themselves. This approach makes the horror linger. It doesn't just shock, it unsettles and stays with you. Social commentary lurks in the background too. The series examines class, propriety and the thin veneer of civility, exposing the primal instincts beneath. The style blends folk horror, psychological thriller and even a dash of satire. It's intelligent, economical and entirely focused on mood rather than spectacle, proof that effective horror doesn't need a huge budget. While Beasts never achieved the fame of The Twilight Zone or other horror anthologies, it has a devoted following among fans of British television. Critics praise it as vastly overlooked and essential viewing for anyone interested in 1970s TV horror. It's short, punchy and uncompromising. 6 episodes that can be watched over a weekend. Each story stands alone, making it perfect for analysis, discussion or showcasing the craft of Nigel Kneale. For modern viewers, it's a reminder that some of the most effective horror comes not from monsters on screen, but from the monsters within us. So whether you're a horror fan, a vintage TV enthusiast, or just curious about hidden gems of British television, Beasts is well worth seeking out. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. So let me know, have you seen Beasts? What do you think? How does it compare with the Quatermass serials? Do you have a favourite episode? Leave me a note in the comments. I'd love to hear what other people think. And we'll see you next time for another vintage TV classic. Until then, keep watching the screen.